What is going on, people? Welcome to the Midwest Mike Sports Show. I am your host, Mike Klean, and I am joined here by the one and only Midwest Mike. What is going on, buddy?
What's going on, brother? How you doing?
Doing good, man. Nice little bounce back night last night. Got everything back and some from last week, dude. So great start to the week. Can't be feeling any better.
No, yeah, it's been 4 straight Mondays, 4 straight Thursdays, 8-1 now, 89%.
Yep.
Monday and Thursday NFL primetime run for like 53 units. So big game Thursday coming up, but we today just trying to take it one day at a time. We started off hot last week too and fell apart on the weekend. So now time just to focus on today. I'll have a little different approach probably Saturday and Sunday. There's been a lot of smaller conference college football games that I've liked the last couple of weeks that have hit. So rather than focusing on, all these big, more primetime type games, focus on some of the smaller conferences that can be profitable. And got to start doing a teaser or two every week in NFL too. So last couple of weeks left some units on the table there, not doing teasers. So little different approach coming this weekend, but we'll worry about that this weekend. Today we got NBA back, NHL, where we started out the season 8-2, 80% in the NHL for 12.2 units, 3-0 NHL sweep yesterday. So look to keep that rolling tonight in the NHL. I do like both MLB games. I posted a total on the early game, and I have likely a side coming on the Phillies Padres game. And then I'll have likely, for sure, one NBA play, likely a total, and possibly a side on another game. We'll see. So all that stuff is coming here after the show. I'll have my full card posted early like I did yesterday. So
absolutely beautiful, my man. Our season is here. Everything is back. It feels great. And we're going to take it one day at a time. Like you said, string a nice, profitable week together.
and we got a good start. 21.36 units. We finished down last week about 16 and some change. So we got everything back plus about an extra 5 units last night. So
absolutely, man. We got Raphael in the house. Top of the morning to you. Chris, what is going on, Chris?
Let's go.
Always good to see you guys in the chat. Like always, guys, throw in your comments, throw in anything you guys want us to talk about, any spots, any bankroll questions. That's why we do this show. You guys make it what it is. So please do that. Interact with us. But let's just go over this NFL week a little bit, Mike, just so you can touch on it, because we had a couple bad beats not go our way. Obviously, 2 bad Sundays in a row. People were at our throats. But we are still profitable in the NFL. Let me throw up the graphic here. Through week
and
6.
We ended up in the green for week 6, mainly because of the 7 unit on the Commanders, the 6 unit last night, and then we did hit 2 4-unit plays on Sunday. So it was a bad Sunday, but nonetheless, still week 6, finished in the green. 4 out of 6 weeks in the green in the NFL. We're still about 60% in the NFL, or thereabouts, 59%, whatever it is. But yeah, man, I love the Dolphins. They had a shot. The whole game was there for them to take it. They just couldn't do anything offensively. The Waddle fumble at the end, when they very likely could have scored a touchdown and taken the lead.
Yep.
Was the dagger. Their defense looked exactly like I thought it would. Their defense looked good most of the game. It's that Waddle fumble was it was a killer, and we've had a lot of that type shit lately. It's just the way it goes. A lot of these NFL games are decided in the last few minutes, and that's just how it is betting the NFL. And turnovers and stuff like that are the difference. So that's just the way it goes.
Yep.
And the SMU game was probably the worst beat of all, and it was actually the smallest unit play. It was just a 3-unit play, but it was like a almost 15-unit swing, I want to say, with parlays and stuff. Yep. That was a disgusting beat. That was
gross. That's top 5 all time.
And the TCU game, I've watched pretty much every TCU game this year. They played their worst half of football in the first half.
Mhm.
Their defense was what I was thinking it was going to look like in the second half. I thought it would look like that, obviously, the full game. It didn't, and we still had a shot at the end to cover 4th and 9 in overtime. One more stop, we cover. Didn't happen. It kind of sucks in football how they alternate who gets the ball after that, because I think had TCU gotten the ball back after that, they would have scored a touchdown and then held them, and we still would have covered. But
Mhm.
unfortunately, Oklahoma State got the ball, and then TCU did score the touchdown, but just won by 3 then. So
Interesting. It was definitely an interesting stretch of 2 days, but we're back and we had a nice bounce back day, and that's what all that matters. We got Wayne in the house. What up, Wayne? He's thanking you for all your
yes,
Twitter
sir.
help. Can't wait for the meetup. Yes, sir.
Yeah, we got to announce that like officially here in
We
January, the
do.
wild card weekend.
We do. We need to get all the details together and figure out a nice way, an easy way for people to kind of RSVP, if you will, or just kind of tell us, give us a roundabout number about who's going to be there. It'd be really nice. So we'll get working on that for everybody. G-Men looking like 3-point dogs against the Jags.
Yep.
Wow.
And the Giants are a surprise. I posted a thing earlier about the top 10, the new power rankings, and I was surprised to see the Giants there at number 5.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Vikings are number 4. The Jets are number 9. Honestly, in my opinion, I think there's a lot in that top 10. There's a lot of fraudulent teams, and I don't even know if I'd call the Jets fraudulent, but I still think the Vikings are a fraudulent 5-1 team, even though they are my team and we have a futures on them that's looking really good and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they're kind of fraudulent. I think the Giants are kind of fraudulent, and I think spots like this, they're going to create value moving forward on some of these teams. Yeah, Jacksonville at home favored over the Giants. Let's look at the schedule. I mean, Jacksonville, they're 2-4. They beat the Colts, beat the Chargers, whoop the Chargers. It was a bad spot for the Chargers, though, that game. Herbert didn't practice all week and then decides to play, and they just got rocked.
Yep.
They lost to Washington. That's not good. That was week 1, though. They lost to Philly by 8. They played them tough. We were actually on Jacksonville that game. It took 5 fumbles by Lawrence to not cover by 1 fucking point.
Yeah.
That was gross. They lost to
Disgusting.
Houston, and then they lost to the Colts by a touchdown, obviously, this past weekend, but that was a close one. Colts scored a touchdown at the very end. We were on the Colts. Now, the Giants, they beat Tennessee. They beat Carolina. That's not saying much. They lost to Dallas. They beat Chicago. That's not saying much. They beat a couple, Carolina, Chicago, not so good teams. They beat the Packers, but Packers have now
Overseas
lost
game.
2 straight. Yeah, it was a London game. They beat them, but the Jets just beat them too. I don't think the Packers are really that good.
Yeah.
And then they beat Baltimore, which is, yeah, that's good. Let's see where the money's coming in on it. But like I said, I think there's going to be some spots where you're going to see stuff like that, because I think some of these teams are overrated and the books know it. And the public's probably going to be, pounding the Giants +3 or, those types of teams. They see a 5-1 versus 2-4 team, see the +3 on a 5-1 team and just, oh my God, I'm going to fucking put my whole bank account on it. Well,
yeah.
And guys, it's moved. It opened up at -1. It's at -3 now. Jacksonville's only getting 51% of the money on the spread. Giants are getting 65% of the money on the money line, and the line's reversing. So sounds like a trap game to me. Sounds like the Jags might be the play there. But I also don't think the Giants are a 5-1 team. You know what I mean? I don't think the Vikings are a 5-1 team. They're 5-1 now. It's kind of been a fluky beginning of the year, If you look at this top 10, which luckily we got our Eagles futures in right away because they're looking really good. That the odds on it are cut in half. But you look at these top 10 power rankings, they got the Bills number 1, which I agree with. Eagles number 2, which I agree with. Chiefs number 3. They have the Vikings number 4. I don't agree with that. The Giants number 5. I don't agree with that. Cowboys 6. 7, the Ravens. 8, the Chargers. 9, the Jets. And 10, the Bucks. I think it's going to be a wild kind of middle second half of the NFL. I haven't looked at each of these teams and looked at the remaining schedules and stuff, but it's I don't think the current top 10 power rankings are going to look anything like that at the end of the season. So
no,
I think there's going to
agree,
be some
man.
bottom tier teams that come up and surprise you. And then some of these teams are going to drop off. Are the Vikings a playoff team? Yeah. Should they be 5-1? I don't think so. The Vikings defensive line played really good against the Dolphins and stuff, but the Dolphins just couldn't do anything offensively. It didn't help that their third string quarterback who prepared all week got hurt. Then you put in Teddy, who only had like 1 full day of practice. So I kind of threw stuff off. I was going to hit the Dolphins a lot bigger had Teddy been able to practice all week and all that, but because of the new concussion protocol, so that's why I backed off from really hammering it.
Right.
But yeah, that's stuff that you're going to see though. Edward Savage, that's stuff you're going to see because some of these teams that are 5-1 really aren't 5-1 teams. So.
I agree, man. And you know what? I was actually really shocked to see my Bucks still in the top 10 here. That was a bad loss this week, man. Bad loss.
Packers got beat. The Bucks got beat. And that's
the
why
Packers aren't getting respect still. I mean, still to see Tampa Bay in the top 10. I mean, that's saying something. I mean, I just can't. I just don't get it.
But there's a lot of teams, decent teams, that don't have the best records right now. You know what I mean? Just because of the injuries and spots they've been dealing with. I mean, like the Bengals, the Saints. These are decent teams that don't have the best records. Baltimore, the Browns have sucked. There's so many 3-3, 3-2 teams out there. Baltimore 3-3, Bucks 3-3. Tennessee 3-2, Indy 3-2-1, the Browns 2-4, Green Bay 3-3. The Chiefs are even 4-2. The Niners 3-3, Seattle 3-3.
Parity, baby.
Dolphins 3-3, the Patriots 3-3. There's so many of those 3-3 type teams that you're going to see some rise and you're going to see some keep falling. Probably like the Broncos.
Absolutely, man.
How many shots do they need to win that game? It's just pathetic. And why don't you just take a fucking shot downfield? Like if you're Hackett, you can't do anything. So why not take a shot downfield? Try to get pass interference. Maybe Russ makes a throw. You get lucky, you catch it, and get in field goal range to kick the field goal and win the game. Or you get a pass interference call, like the Chargers got all fucking game long, picking on 27, whatever his name was, which. 1 or 2 of those was a little questionable, but
right.
It was ridiculous. Yeah, and then Joe brings up a good point here. You got the Falcons 6-0 against the spread.
Mariota
going on?
Mariota, man, he's moving the ball. He's moving the ball. It's interesting, man. And you know what, Chris? I will say, I'll give you some credit here. I mean, the Giants have looked good. But they got an easy schedule, man. I mean, they really do. I mean, after the Jaguars, they got the Seahawks, Texans, Lions, Cowboys, which will be tough again, Commanders, Eagles, Commanders. So that's a tough divisional stretch right there, those 4 games. But then you got the Vikings towards the end of the season, and then you have the Colts and the Eagles. I mean, that's not that rough of a schedule.
Vikings, Colts, and Eagles are tough. Those aren't gimme games.
Well, the Colts by then, I will say, should be.
Colts have a good defense, man, and they haven't even been that healthy. Taylor hasn't even played now in a couple of games. I mean,
But, I mean, even if they lose against the Jags, they still have a chance to secure 3 more wins right there in a row. Seahawks, Texans, and Lions. And then you go in your
Seahawks aren't – I wouldn't sleep on them, though, either. You know what I
Gino,
mean? There's
you like him?
he's not bad, man.
He's moving the ball.
Yeah.
He's moving the ball. We got Big Mike in the house. What up, Big Mike? How you doing, buddy? How are you doing? So yeah, I'm very excited about this new week. I'm really excited about Thursday because this is actually going to be a solid game, not a gross game. It doesn't look like. Saints
Saints
and
Cardinals.
Cardinals. Yeah, I feel like it's going to be a lot easier to watch than what we've been put through last week with the Commanders and the Bears. So I'm excited to see what you cook up with that one, man, because the Thursday spots have just been awesome, and they've really given us these past 2 weeks a really great cushion. They gave us a really great cushion for the NFL
Well,
straight.
we've hit 4 straight
Yeah.
Thursdays and 4 straight Mondays now. So, and they've all been bigger plays. So
Yep.
some of them have been gross, but that's football.
That's football, and you're coming through with them, man. So that is what matters. Chris was saying I thought the Giants +2 is gonna be your play of the week. Mike always surprises us. What you think he's gonna do, he doesn't do.
Yeah.
But excited for Thursday. Moving on here to, I can't wait anymore here. Can we just talk about the NBA being back? You said you posted up some season totals. That's
Two,
awesome.
yeah. I'll have a couple futures later on, like I did last year. I think I posted the Warriors that won in like November or something. I got to
Mhm.
feel a little bit out. But I do have 2 season win totals posted. One's an over, one's an under. So yeah, got that. Our Vikings futures looking good. Unfortunately, the Dodgers just fell apart at the absolute wrong time, and the Padres now all of a sudden look like a World Series contender. It's crazy how much money we won on the Dodgers during the season, and how many times during the regular season the Padres fucked us, and then they straight just fucked our future.
They
So
get their last laugh on us, my friend.
yeah, but we got
Uh,
the 7 units on the Vikings. That should
mhm.
more than offset the Dodgers one.
Sure.
That Eagles one I'm excited about. 2 units to win 25 units, 25 grand.
Yeah.
I mean, they're looking like they could take the NFC right now. So,
Right.
and even if they make it to the Super Bowl, even if you wanted to hedge, you could put 12 units on the other side and guarantee yourself 12 units on the game.
Right.
So, just making it to that NFC Championship or Super Bowl
Mhm.
is big because then you'll have hedge opportunities there if you choose to. So,
Yep, and realistically, you're probably gonna have another one towards, middle to
yeah,
later in the season, so even if the Eagles don't come through, it's only 2-unit risk. Might
yeah,
have an opportunity for the other one.
like last year in January, I took the Rams at like plus 700, which was the same odds you could get them at the beginning of the year. It was fucking nuts. And we knew they're
Mhm.
going to be in the playoffs. Like it didn't make any sense. So look for
Yep.
spots like that for sure.
Absolutely, man. Are we gonna have a big boy hammer today? Or not today, but this week?
Probably eventually. I need to, string together a few good days. I personally hit the Broncos as probably my second biggest play of the NFL season besides the Bengals against the Dolphins.
Mhm.
Um, I hit 35 grand on that. I did risk about 2.7 units to win 5 units on Broncos money line too. So netted about 32 on the Broncos game yesterday. But
Epic.
yeah, like that ideally probably would have been a hammer spot. I absolutely loved the spot for the Broncos yesterday to cover or win.
Mhm.
But when you have a shitty Saturday and shitty Sunday, it's tough because if it doesn't come through, I'm gonna have people coming to my house, fucking shooting me and shit. So, uh, so it's just you gotta, if we were hot and we had a big Sunday, yeah, I would have,
Yeah.
posted it for 10 units. But I still am transparent with you guys. I tell you how much I'm putting on it. I tell you to at least put an extra 5 on it if you've been consistent doing that.
Yep.
And everyone who's been consistent doing that, we've hit way more than we've lost on the plays I've told you to put extra on. So
Big time. Big time. You got to be wary of people's bankrolls. We get new people hopping on every single day. A lot of people don't, they hop on, but they're not as seasoned as everybody, so they don't know exactly how to manage everything, and they're asking questions and stuff like that. So I get what you're saying about
But yeah,
being cautious.
I think it all depends. I haven't dug into the Thursday game really, but if I really
Mhm.
like it, there's potential there. If not, I'm sure Saturday or Sunday there will be an opportunity there too. But just trying to take it one day at a time, string together a good week here, which we actually did last week,
Mhm.
and then just fell apart on the weekend. So, and that's why I brought up the teaser thing too. Like, had we had Saints and Dolphins, for example, in a teaser, like with the Eagles, that probably would have been like a 3-team teaser I would have done. We would have hit it. Um, so
Yeah.
need to. I did a lot of teasers last year. We made money on them. I just need to start doing those
Yep.
more. So,
Yep. I can't wait for some NBA hammers. Are we gonna have those?
oh yeah, not today. I
Well,
mean,
no, not today. I
tonight.
know, but man, just to see the NBA back is just it's so exciting to me,
We
man. I
had
mean,
yeah, we had some big spots, and I actually had my best NBA season ever last
you
year.
did.
I think we're up since January 1st, 2021, so a little over a season.
Hmm.
We're up 120 units or something like that in
Yeah,
NBA. We crushed it last year. Um, so yeah, I'm excited for NBA too.
absolutely, man. Yeah, since March, since our launch, which was March 14th, I believe, um, up over 50 units in the NBA. That's
Yeah.
with the Warriors' future, which was what 10 units. But still, man, I mean, awesome. And that was a perfect time towards the end of the season, playoffs, and then the finals. But you got anything to talk about these games? I know you said you got a spot on both, so can't really say much, but
Well, if I have a side, that'll probably be on the Philly Celtics game, and then I'm looking at a total on the Lakers Warriors game. So that's
beautiful.
kind of yeah.
Beautiful. I cannot wait to put those in. I
Which
am so
both those,
excited.
I mean that Lakers Warriors game, both rosters look a lot different. The
Hmm.
Lakers lost their top 6 perimeter shooters. The Warriors roster looks a lot different. And Steve Kerr's come out and said that his guys aren't in game condition yet, and they're going to be maxed out at about 30 minutes for like the first couple of weeks. So, and they got
Hmm.
a lot of new kind of bench players. I mean, they paid all their big guys. Over $500 million. I mean, you got Poole and Wiggins now on these big max extensions.
Hmm.
And Green has a player option, I think, next year for like 30 million that he'd be stupid not to pick up.
Yeah, you
Um,
would.
so that, and then you got Curry, Thompson. I mean, they have talk about paying for championships. I mean, that's like the Yankees of baseball.
I mean,
So,
if they stay healthy, man, and you know what, they've earned it because they won without getting the bag. So now they're getting it, and let's see if they can,
and they were
see if
one
they
of
can be
those
competitive.
teams last year in mid-January. Because I remember going to the Warriors Timberwolves game. We had a play on the Warriors and lost, and that was kind of their start of. They had a really bad stretch, late January to sometime in February, where they were like, I don't even know, but it was like 2-12 or some
Hmm.
shit. Um, like they looked bad, and then, but that's kind of how they are. I mean, it's kind of like the Lakers, right? They just need to get into the playoffs. They don't really give a shit what their regular season record is. It's just get there and then we'll turn it on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and I think that's kind of how the Warriors will start out this season. I mean, for the first couple weeks, I mean, guys on a 30-minute starters on a 30-minute uh, minutes restriction type deal.
Hmm.
And then you got all these new guys that need to have time to mesh and gel together and stuff. So
Hmm.
it'll be an interesting start. And then you got the ring ceremony tonight.
Yep. The
Um,
banner.
so yeah,
That's
we'll
always
see.
distracting. Family members asking for tickets and all that stuff. But Justin saying Lakers defense is still terrible. He sees the over. You guys see the Lakers. I'm a LeBron guy. So I grew up.
Oh God.
I grew up hating. Now
Dude,
listen. Now
Tom Brady
listen.
and LeBron.
Don't knock Tom. You know you
Had
love
enough of
Tom.
this shit.
Okay, so hear me out. I grew up hating LeBron because everybody was the LeBron MJ, that whole spiel. And I would always take MJ, and I did not like LeBron after he went to the Heat. I thought it was just not, I just didn't like it. But after that, once he went back to the Cavs and beat the Warriors, he actually delivered on his promise. I grew to like him, and I grew to just say, you know what? He's not MJ ever in my book, but I will appreciate at least his greatness and at least take notice to the rest of his career, because I actually feel bad I didn't watch a lot of his beginning of his career just because I didn't like the guy. But Lakers' first 7 games here. Warriors, I mean, debatable because it's a distracting game
You
tonight.
got the
But
Wolves in there because I got Wolves season tickets and they play on the 28th, I believe.
yeah, so you got the Clippers, Blazers, Nuggets, Timberwolves, Nuggets again, and Pelicans. And that's their first 7 games. I mean, that's a pretty tough stretch for them.
What's anyone know the futures odds on the Nuggets to win it?
It
I
was
like them this year if they can stay
big.
healthy.
It was big a couple weeks ago when I checked. I think it was like plus 2,000 or something like that. I
No
mean,
way.
it was, yeah, dude. It was to win it all. It was like plus 2,000. I text you about it. I go, my Denver
Yeah.
Nuggies, they're gonna be healthy, but it's gone down since then. I do know that. It's gone down.
That's insane. There might be some value there for sure.
I love the Nugs, dude. I mean, Jokic back-to-back MVPs, Jamal Murray coming back, Porter June coming back. You got Aaron Gordon there slipping in. I mean, he had probably his best, most consistent season last year because he had so much opportunity. They got Will Barton out of there. I love the Nuggets, man. That's my team. That's my team. I love
Who's
them.
that? God, they had one. What's that guy's name? He's got a weird name. He did really good in like the playoffs and shit.
Oh,
I
it was
like that.
their rookie, right? The guard.
Yeah, what's his name?
I forget.
Oh, Bones Highland, right?
Yes, Highland. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yep.
like him. Yeah.
So the Nuggets right now. So yeah, I was right. The Nuggets right now is plus 1,600
Wow.
because it's gone down. It's gone down. So it started at 2, and then it was at 18, and then now today, day of season starting, they're at plus 16.
That's tempting, man.
Oh
That's
God,
tempting.
please tell me you're gonna pull a trigger on that. I'll go nuts.
It's only going to go down as the season starts, especially if they start
Right.
winning games right away.
Yep.
Because like the Warriors, I'm sure they're probably a bigger favorite, but I got them at I think plus 650 in November last year, and they got off to a decent start. So I don't know what it was before the season started for them last year, but it could be a similar situation.
Warriors right now are plus 575. I mean, depending on what book you have, but I'm just on ours. Brooklyn's plus 700, Clippers 700, Bucks 675, Phoenix plus 1,400, Dallas plus 2,200, Heat plus 2,000.
What are the Celtics?
Celtics are plus 700.
What are the Clippers?
Plus 700.
I would say Clippers or Nuggets would be if I had to put in 2 futures right now, that's who I would put in.
Mm-hmm. Your T-Wolves are 2,800. Yeah. Interesting. The Trailblazers, not that they're going to do anything, but at least Dame's back. Some Dame time. Plus 10,000.
We can talk about those 2 futures I got. So I actually have the Celtics under season win and the Clippers over. Very high on the Clippers this year. I mean, I bet them a lot last year too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so Celtics under 53.5 and Clippers over 52.5. Obviously the Clippers getting healthy, making some moves. If they can stay healthy, I think that's easy money. The
Yeah.
East has so many teams. They're so stacked. There's not enough. Not all of them can win. What was it? 53, 54 games.
Right.
And the Celtics are starting out with Williams out. Their whole coaching scenario, all the shit they got going on right now, that I don't see them being one of the top teams in the East this year.
Right.
That's why like that futures plus 700. I kind of just laugh at that.
Yeah.
I mean, Brooklyn should be better now this year. Just without all the drama, bullshit, and Simmons,
Right.
if he plays and is healthy this year, you got the Heat. There's so many teams in the East that it's stacked that, not like I said, not all of them can win 50-some games. It's just not mathematically possible. So I definitely see the Celtics slipping a little bit this year. That's why I got them on the under. And then that's why I took the Clippers on the over, because the West, there's just a handful of teams, and the Clippers should be one of them. The Nuggets, Clippers, very high on those two teams this year. And then, you got the Warriors and Lakers. They're going to care more about just kind of making it. I mean, not so much the Warriors, but the Lakers, LeBron, he'll be listed as questionable 80% of the games. You never know if he's playing until 10 minutes before tip off, playing those games, all that bullshit. So the load management, all that. So.
Yep. And who knows if AD is going to be able to stay on the court this year. I think the Lakers are in trouble again, man. I just.
Oh, the Lakers are garbage, man.
Yeah. I don't even think they're going to make the playoffs. I really don't. I don't. I think LeBron's chasing his, points in the NBA. I think that's what he's playing for.
He's waiting for his kid
in a couple of years. Yeah. That's it. I truly believe that. I think they're a fucking mess. I really do. But I love to hear that you're on the Nuggets, man, this year. I really do. I love that you're
Nuggets and the Clippers, man. I love the Clippers.
John Wall too. I mean, the guy hasn't played in 2 years. I mean, that's some rested legs for what, a 32-year-old, 33-year-old, whatever he is, somewhere around there.
They had some young guys step up last year too. I mean, they're more than just Leonard and PG and all that. So they
were forced to. They were forced to without Kawhi. They really had to learn how to play together as a unit.
Who's the God? What's his name? Let me pull up their roster. Terrence Mann. I like him a lot.
Yeah,
he's good. But yeah, you got George, Wall, Leonard, Norman Powell. They got him last year. He was hurt a little bit last year, but he's really good. Reggie Jackson, I love that dude.
Love Reggie.
You got Zubac, Terrence Mann, Luke Kennard, Covington, Marcus Morris. I mean, they're stacked, man. Clippers are fucking stacked if they can stay healthy. So,
absolutely, Justin, big Reggie. Jackson,
Did you guys see that video when I was at that play-in game in LA versus the Pelicans when Reggie Jackson ran into me?
Yeah.
Did you remember that?
I do remember that. It was awesome.
Where ball came flying in, sitting courtside right behind the Pelicans bench. Ball came flying in, and literally Reggie Jackson just came flying into me. I had to like help him up and shit. I don't know if you guys remember that, but
it was awesome though that a couple people behind you actually took a video, and somebody took
I got a video of it.
Really good snapshot of it too, man. I mean, it's really good. Yeah, so that's awesome, dude.
Yeah, it was fun.
Well, you're going to be getting a lot of that action with the T-Wolves tickets, man. You're sitting right there.
Right next to the visitors' bench, so I can heckle the shit out of Morant when he comes to town.
You bought those tickets just to do that, man. You can't wait.
I fucking hate that guy, man. Memphis, another team in the West. You know what I mean? But I've never been high on Memphis. I just don't think the Wolves should have beat them last year. The Wolves beat themselves. Memphis shouldn't have even gotten there, and then the Warriors handled them. So
yeah, they did.
I'm not. Yeah, I don't know. Memphis doesn't have a championship caliber team. They just don't. They're good enough to beat a lot of teams on any given night, but to be a championship team, win an NBA championship, they ain't got it.
Well, I think some of those young gun players, they got to get humble a little bit, which I don't know if they're capable of doing that and they
Who's the guy that I hate just as much as
Brooks.
Morant? Brooks, Dylan Brooks, that motherfucker, dude. Bane, I don't know, but Brooks, oh my god, I hate that fucking guy. He was fucking swearing at fans and shit when we were at the game, and then
Wow.
fucking going off at him. I that's why I hate the Grizzlies. I hate Brooks and I hate Morant.
He's got some personal thing with Morant. If Morant hits a certain shot or something like that, Brooks wants to come down the floor and do
Oh
him up
yeah,
or do the
yeah.
exact same thing. He's got something going on
In
with him
his head,
personally.
he's fucking Michael Jordan, dude.
Yeah.
No doubt. He just and he's terrible. Not
Yeah.
terrible, but you know what I
Justin
mean.
saying that exactly. I
Yeah,
love it. But
I
it
hate
should
that
be a
guy.
great season, man. And I'm excited to, light up that spreadsheet and get it from 50 to 100 and even above. So I'm really excited for a full season here at Midwest Mike Sports. It's going to be great. But let's move on to NHL. Everybody
Yeah,
knows about the hot start.
it's nice for parlays too, because now we can mix and
Yeah.
match. You got football, MLB, NBA, NHL.
Mm-hmm.
So I love that for parlays. You know, it gets old. In July doing what 3 teams are we parlaying together in the MLB or whatever. You know what I mean? It's nice
Yeah.
to. God, I love this NHL. I love this NBA, and parlaying all the kind of the top plays together. So looking forward to that too.
Yeah, and we were talking about that as well, how, with the other sports coming back, you guys see how Mike, when he has a top play, I mean, look at our Thursday and Monday record. I have it right here for NFL. Not that we're going back to NFL here, but I mean, these are top plays of the week for him. And we've had a couple Sundays one fall, but for specifically speaking on Monday and Thursday, when he hones in on one game, look at the results. And we were talking about it because now we can do that for all the sports, hone in on NFL, hone in on NBA, NHL, MLB until the season's over. And I just think it's going to be great, man, especially for parlays, like you're saying. It's just going to be
Yeah,
honed in.
I think it's the primetime games are easier for me just because there's such heavily bet games where stuff can be more telling. There's certain spots,
Mm-hmm.
that kind of stuff. But when you really dig into just one game and that's all you have to focus on, it's easier than seeing 20 games and it's tough having enough time to dig into every single one or, not necessarily dig into every single one, but just spend the time needed on it. So
Right.
that's why I'm going to just try to kind of hone in each night with all the different sports going on just, some days I'll have 3 in one sport, but mainly, 1, 2 kind of my top plays for each sport and
Mm-hmm.
see what kind of success we have doing that versus throwing up 4 or 5 NHL plays. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
I love it. I cannot wait. But NHL's been hot, man. 8-2 start.
yeah,
Touch on it a little bit, whatever you want to say.
yeah. I mean, the Canadians came through again for us on the puck line, won outright both times. It was 2-0 going into the third. Wasn't looking good. Came back, tied it up. The Wild over. That was easy. Stars beat the shit out of the Jets. So yeah, it was a nice 3-0 sweep last night. And I talked about it a little bit before, but you're probably going to see me kind of take more dogs. Like I'm probably going to have another dog tonight on the puck line. Some of them, sometimes I'll sprinkle a little bit on the money line, probably, but if you can get a puck line minus 120, something like that,
Mm-hmm.
I like that on a big, plus 200 plus underdog, and then getting the puck line around minus 120. I'll take that all day long. So,
Yep.
but yeah, see more of that. Less of the bigger favorites. So more totals and more kind of, dogs or dogs on the puck line, that kind of stuff. I think we'll have more. I mean, we are having more success. I've done a lot of totals so far to start the year, and I think we've hit in all but one total.
Mm-hmm.
And then sides, just looking for certain spots. Like there's a couple spots tonight that I like, just situations that you'll see. And I'll try to do just a brief. It's not going to be as long as like the Broncos write up was yesterday, but
Mm-hmm.
just at least, just kind of like what I did on the other plays yesterday, just kind of a brief little deal. So at least you kind of understand where I'm coming from. I'll try to do that on every play. So
Love it, man. And you know what? We see these dogs actually in NHL almost nightly. A few of them here and there.
I did
Hitting.
like the Red Wings yesterday. I almost played them. Luckily, I didn't because they lost 4-3 in overtime. They weren't that big of a dog. It was like plus 125, and the puck line was ridiculous, minus 250. So I almost put that in a parlay, but I was scared off of it because the Red Wings have a couple guys injured and stuff. The Kings, I don't know. I mean, at least to start the year, I know they're a good team, but they haven't looked that great. They've had a ton of penalties. They actually play a back-to-back tonight against Nashville, so that's an interesting spot. But it's just stuff like that.
The one that surprised me yesterday was the Coyotes, man. They were massive dogs.
You know what? I almost even took them on the puck line at like plus 170 or something. But you see that stuff all the time.
It's hockey. It's hockey, baby.
I regret not playing them yesterday. They're plus 400. Risk a half unit to win 2. That shit happens all the time. And there's no reason the Leafs this early in the season should be minus 550 favorites versus fucking anybody. Not a shot. Not a shot.
Absolutely,
I mean, you see that stuff later on in the year, not the first week or 2 into the season. That's ridiculous.
Absolutely. But that's hockey, baby. That's exactly how it is, man. Any of these hockey teams could beat anybody.
The Avs look great to start the year.
Locked and loaded, ready to go.
They're gonna be the team to beat. That's for sure. Rangers look really good. We went against them with the Jets, but that was just a bad spot, second half of a back-to-back type situation. And that's spots, moving forward that we're going to be looking for and stuff. So, but yeah, I'd say the Rangers. I mean, the Lightning should still be good this year. Boston should be good. But I think the Avs will definitely be the team to beat. Interesting to see how the Flames do this year. I mean, they got some new guys. But in the Wild, it's their goaltending, man. They'll never fucking be a playoff. I mean, they can always make it to the playoffs, but as far as doing something, Fleury ain't the answer. I'm hoping that this Gustafsson does really well or something and shows us something because I have no faith in Fleury. So they lost the first 2 games with him starting. Gustafsson got to start yesterday, but he was also going against the Avs, and so who knows? We'll see what happens as the season goes on here, but
you guys will still be all right. My Blackhawks are going to be an interesting bunch this year.
I'm higher on the Red Wings too this year. They got a lot of new guys. You get rid of. I don't know if they still have Thomas Greiss or not, but that guy was bad in net. I forget off the top of my head right now who their new goalie is, but he's good. It's interesting every year seeing all these goalies kind of hop around all these different teams. It happens every year. The Avs goalie went to Seattle 2 years ago, and now the Avs goalie is with Washington now. It's like every year these goalies hopping around and shit. So
it's interesting because you'd think if you find a good one, you're gonna hang on to him, But I am going to the home opener for the Hawks on Friday, so even if it's not on the card, you're gonna have to give me a spot. The Red Wings.
Oh, really? Probably the Red Wings.
Yeah, you'll have to give me a little spot, something to root for.
Get a Red Wings jersey.
Oh, I can't do that now, but
maybe the over.
I can make a bet, on my phone, and no one has to know about it. But
maybe an over spot.
Maybe
we'll see.
Last year that probably Kane and Tays, if they make it through the season on the Hawks, probably. But I got a small season ticket package with them this year with my dad, so we're gonna have some fun. Not all the games, but just a small package, and get to skate on the ice and stuff. They do like a whole road watch. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. So go down there a couple times a year. We always do. And then I got my bartender that didn't even charge me last time I was there for the concert, dude. Wow. At least a $200 tab between me and my dad. Didn't even charge me. He's just like, just go. Unreal, man. But that pretty much concludes today's show, guys. Mikey, you got any closing notes?
No, I'll be posting the full card here shortly. Let's do it again today. So let's run it back.
Let's run it back, baby. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, invest wisely and live freely.